recently discovered that the Airport Commission is required to file annual financial statements with the county clerk's office. I asked for them. She didn't have them. I checked with Cindy. She didn't have them. I contacted Sheila Evans, and she informed me that she started preparing them as of 2010 and had filed them with Cindy. Cindy doesn't recall receiving them. Sheila did tell me that she would provide me with copies 2009, 10, and 11. Until I get them and have a chance to disseminate them to all of the JPs, I would ask that we kind of defer action on the airport's budget. Secondly, with all due respect, I'm really disappointed that the salary and wage study contract hasn't been signed. You know, as a JP, I believe it's my obligation to set our obligation to set salaries, and I feel ill-prepared to do that. You know, we're coming up close to the end of the year now. Even if the contract was signed today, the study wouldn't be completed until 2013, and I'm having a hard time rationalizing approving any salary adjustments until I have some further information.
Anyone else?
Yes.
Ron?
Just on that same line, I'm also very disappointed, and we've talked about it several times, and you told me you didn't have time to get it done yet. Then I see yesterday's Harrison paper with a good picture of you on there, but in that article you say that you're concerned about whether it's good for the county. Well, you haven't told me that. You've said you didn't like spending the money and that you didn't have time to do it. But it's our job to set pay. We need tools to do that. When we gave you, over the last couple of years, about $500,000 extra for the road department to get equipment to take care of 30 or 40 years of neglect and abuse in that department, we didn't waste time debating whether to do it. We talked about what the equipment was going to go for and what it was going to do for the county. Well, the personnel committee spent hours, a lot of time and a lot of work deciding and figuring out that the personnel study was what we needed to help us with our payroll, which is the biggest county expenditure. We did a lot of work on that. We got 4 proposals. We studied those. We decided that Johansson's was the best. They are local. Basically, they're from Fayetteville, and they have an excellent reputation. And we passed an ordinance to do the salary study and pay the money. And the ordinance becomes the law of the county. Now, we can't order you to sign a contract, but we passed a resolution asking you to get that contract signed. That was 2 months ago, Sam. And it's not signed. And it has put us in a very awkward position as far as our payroll for next year. We need that information for the budget process and to do the payroll. And I agree with Lamont, and I've told you and everyone else before that I cannot agree to any raises for any county personnel until we have a salary study and we can figure out what to do. We're trying to correct 30 or 40 years of neglect of our personnel system, and this study goes a long way towards doing that. And I wish that you would respect our decision to do it, like we respect your decision with regard to the road department and most of the county, and get this signed so we can proceed with it. We need it for the budget this year, and we certainly need it for payroll. And so you and I have talked about it several times. We need to get it done, and I would appreciate your getting it done.
Any more discussion, Don?
Sam, I'd like to introduce a friend of mine. We have a vacancy. It could be January 1st in the Quorum Court. Bob Wingard passed away with cancer. And District 9, I'm going to be moving to District 8, but District 9, I went through lots of people to find out who would be interested in maybe filling that position like Chris is doing now. And I have a good friend I've known for 12 years, Robert Holcamp. He's a chicken farmer, and he's a very successful chicken farmer and businessman for previous occupations. Lives in District 9. sure he voted for Obama, Sam, and Ramona over the years. But anyway, he says he's independent. And anyway, this is Robert Holcamp over here, and he's willing to fill that position. So I'd kind of like him to introduce himself, and then maybe we could sometime get a recommendation to the governor to appoint him when the time comes for the vacancy to be filled.
Yeah, well, I've run several different businesses, and I think I bring something to the table, and I look forward to working with you guys. I'm excited about it, so hopefully with your approval I can help Carroll County run smooth. So just appreciate your support.
We're always looking for volunteers.
Any more JP comments? Dan?
Yes, sir, thank you. Just remind fellow JPs, and I assume the other elected officials and people present, that the county has the county airport is serving a good lunch in our honor today to come out and look at the airport. I would encourage us all to, since it is coming up on lunchtime, we go out there and take advantage of their generosity. And also, if you haven't seen our airport, which I think most of the JPs have, it's people here in attendance, and you need to go out and take a look at it. They had a fantastic fly-in 2 weeks ago. I stopped by, and I was amazed that they had, what the paper said, 90-some airplanes. Must have been, at the time that I got there, along with some other folks, I'm just guessing, probably around 250, 300 people. It's quite a deal. And got a great facility out there. Notwithstanding some financial disclosures that we'll work on, but I encourage everybody to go out there and enjoy lunch with their servants.
Any more JP comments? I guess it's down my turn.
It's your turn. It's your turn.
First of all, back to your salary study. When I was calling on the carpet in Little Rock last year to the audit committee, because some things hadn't been done in other offices that I'm responsible for, but I have no control of. I don't know what goes on, and I asked them with their permission that I would form a personnel committee to try to study the phone bill and the computers. And they thought that was a good idea, and I asked some of you, and you gracefully accepted and did a good job on it. On the salary study, I don't recall asking for that, but still yet, I've been accused of dragging my feet. This audit deal was supposed to have been turned in January, but Candy and several folks have graciously helped me. We don't have it done yet. There's a lot of things in this county that has to be done, and sometimes takes more preparation than others. And yes, from the start, I said I thought it was a bad idea. I still think it is. I respect y'all's opinion, but I think it's a bad idea. We get a book from AAC that tells us what every county's budget is broken down to the property. I had one attorney that tell me we ought to have Crystal Line to send us a bill for $10,000 because he'd already figured it. But still yet trying to go to the end of the world looking for a place to be sure that this is the right decision. How many of y'all remember the lawsuit that happened to Boone County? I think it was back in late 80s or early 90s, middle 90s. Y'all remember what happened there? City of Harrison, the best I remember, felt like that they was losing too many employees to other places because he wasn't paying enough. Being born in this area and spending most of my time in this area, I try to remember some of the things that are really costly. Well, they hired a company, and I've searched for it, I can't find it, to do them a job study. When they brought it back and recommended some changes, they wasn't done. And some people sued the city of Harrison and won.
something wrong. They have worked with Washington County and Benton County for 15 to 20 years. And those county judges and the human resources people will recommend them and stand behind them. I don't know what happened in Harrison. That's a city, a different deal a long time ago. If you thought this was bad for the county, you should have vetoed it when we passed it. Then we could have dealt with it then. When it passes, it becomes the law of the county. And that becomes all of our obligation to carry it out. We also took the oath, the same oath you took. And when we voted for that, we were voting for it because we thought it was in the best interest of the county. Our obligation is to budget, and we have to do that. And it is a tool to help us budget the biggest county expense, which is our personnel expense.
Well, I guess I made an interpretation of the law. I thought a resolution 1414, I believe it's 905-J or something like that, says that a resolution doesn't require executive action. It's only for the JPs to talk about things. So I don't understand how a resolution could become law. To me, if I understand it right, it's for you all to discuss something.
The resolution is not the law. The law is the ordinance we passed. That
You didn't pass the ordinance, right?
we passed an ordinance.
Passed the resolution.
Sam, we passed an ordinance.
The quorum court can appropriate the money from the study. It's up to the county judge whether to spend that money. That's the law. That's the Arkansas Constitution. That's Amendment 55. The resolution is just a sense of the quorum court, like Mr. Woodlaw referred to earlier in the earlier discussion.
I'm trying to be sure we don't get ourselves in a bind like Boone County did, and I've done a lot of research on this trying to find it.
Have you talked to the judge in Washington,
No.
where they worked for a long time, doing the same thing they did for
I
us?
haven't. Kenny, do you have that book?
Joanne and Cindy have
We've seen it.
both
We've seen it,
copies.
Judge.
The inventory book? You.
Yes. To show you some of the things we've been trying to do. The inventory hasn't been brought up for 7 or 8 years.
I know.
We're trying to diligently to get that in. And here's just the start of it.
That's one set of books, that's not two of the same thing.
So we have been busy.
Well, there's no one accusing you of not being busy, and this has nothing to do with